traditionally here at Hyde Park, this was a place where you got reactionary attitudes, where people were, starting revolutions, where you got philosophers. You didn't get compromisers. To think religiously is to be a compromiser to society, a compromiser to the government. If you are religious, in my submission, you are the most boring person on earth.
When I used to speak in the park, my subject was anarchism. Now, anarchism can be so broad a subject as to incorporate anything. So it gave you the license to roam far and wide. But my vision of anarchism is fairly simple. First of all, the need to destroy the state and to destroy government. In order to destroy the state without violence, and I emphasize without violence because violence, as we have found throughout history, actually destroys nothing. Violence can be used to replace a power by a power. It cannot be used to destroy power, because violence is the very essence of power. So we are talking about the need for non-violent destruction. Now, in order to non-violently destroy the government, you have to build a movement of individuals committed to their own vision of how they want to live. At the moment, most people have no vision as to how they want to live. Their ideas are hand-me-down ideas received from their politicians and through the television box. The one thing I never wanted anybody to to do in all the years that I was speaking in the park was agree with me. The one thing I never wanted them to do was to follow me. That may seem a contradiction, but Shakespeare in one of his plays, and I don't know where, said, "To thine own self be true, thou canst not then be false to anyone." And by being true to yourself, first of all, you have to discover who you are, bearing in mind that from the cradle to the grave, wherever you look, for example, you look to your parents, they do not hold up to you an image of who you are. They hold up to you a mirrored distortion of the good, obedient child they would want you to be. When you go to school and you look to your teachers to find out who you are, they hold up a different distortion of the child that they would want you to be. A good student, an obedient, quiet, well-behaved student. You go to work and you ask your employer and look for a reflection of who you are, and you find yet another distortion. The hard-working, conscientious, non-union employee. And wherever you look, and to whom you look for a reflection of yourself, an idea as to who you are, you will discover at every twist, at every turn, not a mirror image of yourself, but a distortion, a distorted mirror image of that which those particular people, those particular institutions want to make you into. It's very hard to contract out of society totally. There's nowhere physically you can run to, there's nowhere physically you can hide anymore. But it is again the same process of contracting out of society in small ways, escaping in tiny ways, escaping from society by making your own entertainment instead of being entertained by others, making your own music instead of watching others make music. We are a nation of voyeurs. We don't take part. We stand on the sidelines and watch other people take part. And for every act that is not passive, which is active, no matter what area it's in, whether it's playing football rather than watching somebody else play football, or making music instead of watching somebody else make music. This is a revolutionary act, because ultimately it leads to taking control over your own lives rather than having other people control your lives for you. If you say, how do most people spend their lives? They spend 8 hours a day sleeping, 8 hours a day watching television, and 8 hours a day working or looking for work. And so between the bed, the television and the factory, they've got your whole life sewn up until you're past caring. So if you take 2 of those aspects, we all need to sleep, but if you take 2 of those aspects, television and the workplace, these are how people today are enslaved. So one revolutionary act will be to smash the television. Another revolutionary act would be to seek ways of not working. Now, I'm a street musician. You could say that is my job. Nobody forces me to do it. Nobody tells me when to do it, how to do it, or why to do it. Nobody tells me what to play. Occasionally the police will tell me where to play because they'll move me from where I am playing, but not very often. And if you make enough money at the end of the day, you eat. And if you don't make enough money at the end of the day, then you don't eat. And life is as simple as that. Now, most people are not prepared to settle for that low a lifestyle. In their terms, minimalist lifestyle. They would prefer to work 8, 10 or more hours a day doing something they hate for someone they loathe, earning not quite enough money to afford the dubious luxury of stark poverty, debts and a mortgage for the rest of their life. Now, if we can show them that the way to make the revolution, first of all, is by enjoying yourself, which one cannot do at work, by definition, in my view, then having fun is a revolutionary act. And work is the very essence of the slavery that our enemies in government understand. And they want us in the factory. They want us in front of the television. They want us at their beck and call 24 hours a day. They want to know where we are. They want to know what we're doing. And it's precisely because that is what they want that it must be what we don't want. I used to think that you can, confronted with the state, you can do one of 3 things. You can run away from it and try and hide. And I used to think that was superficial. You can join it and try and change the system. And I used to think, and indeed still do think, that if you try that path, the system will eat you whole and spit out your bones and have you for breakfast, and you will not survive the experience. The system will not only survive, but be stronger. Or you can run away and you can hide. And I used to think that there was nowhere you could run to, and there was no place you could hide. And it just may be that I found somewhere where I could actually live my own life and hide away out of London. I left London 11 years ago. And but I know that that is a superficial freedom. It is a superficial escape. It is a superficial hiding place. And that if the state ever wanted to find me, it could. But the state doesn't really want to find me. I don't matter that much. So, within strict confines, I'm a free man.